All right, Tom, you're asking mid to long term play on DENT. Um, I always on mid to long term plays. I think it's best to be prepared to add lower on your position. So I always feel it's safest and best to never load the boat on it or whatever. Always be prepared, that this might be 30% of your entry, for example, and if we drop to double bottom, have another 30, and if we drop there, have another 30. If it moves from here, then you make money on that 30%. If it drops to here and then does this, then you make money on 60% of your allocation. And then if it comes down to here and comes back, your average is here, and then you should make money. But if you load the boat here and it drops down to here, you might panic and lose all your money and sell down here, for example. So I always think it's best to never load the boat. Be willing to add lower. If you're willing to hold medium to long term, be willing to add lower on that position. And that's the way I always feel about medium to long term positions. So like I said, it looks decent. We had BTT. We had BTT yesterday. That is, it's not identical or anything, but it's very similar in the fact that we move up and we're getting a bullish sort of flag. This is slightly descending, and this was more of a flat base. You possibly could say that this was almost a bullish ascending triangle, and then we broke up out of that. It's not quite the same. This is kind of more of this sort of pattern, descending. But it does look good for a move up because it's getting compression here in the moving averages, just like we had compression here in the moving averages when we got that move. It's also getting that larger compression of the white 100 moving average as well. The white 100 moving average can act as a magnet to price, and it can it's like a suction or a vacuum, and it just sucks price up into that like a magnet. So are we going to get the same effect here and eventually break up out of this? I do like it as long as, you're saying a medium to long term. My thoughts are, I wanted to hold below today. Worst case scenario, I bought some of this earlier, I think. I bought that many things on and off today that I need to look at it again, but I think I hold some of this. I have no idea if I alerted the group or not, but I'm nearly sure I did buy some of this. We got that dump earlier. Now it's coming green again. This is exactly what you want, and then hopefully tomorrow, see here you had the two little green days, and then that allowed for the push. We've gotten the two green days here. Maybe that'll allow for the push. So, like ideally, I want to see today's lows hold. That's ideal. Worst case scenario, then I want to see this green candle hold. If this green candle holds, there's problems. It's not moving the way it should move, and it might actually fail and roll over. So, ideally you want to see the moving averages hold just like it held in here, and you want to see the previous day's lows hold. Just these two lines. The safest way, I'll probably say, to trade this, you could buy now, but the safest way, maybe wait until a new daily candle, just like it was here. And then on a new day, if it flips green, you can get long and see if we can get lift off. So it's your call. Like your medium to long term, I already told you my thoughts on that, and then this is where I would have stops on the shorter term trades. Nice RSI here, a little bit like the RSI we had here. Look at the volume we had here, though. Absolutely beautiful. Nice breakup volume here. It's the largest volume we've had almost in the history of DENT. So it definitely has potential. Medium, like you're saying, medium to long term. Now, the way I like to see it, and I don't know if the market's going to do this, I like to see a bounce up in here and somehow fail back down, and then the real move. Now, I don't know if we're going to get that. That's my preference in these setups. Sometimes that's what I want to see. Sometimes the market does not give that. Sometimes it just moves up in here and bulls and then goes, It really just depends on the market cycle and do we get a bad selling pressure in and around here? Time will tell. But you're saying medium to long term. This is down. Well, it was down 93%. Ideally, yes, this should be a good place to accumulate. Now, if it continues to roll down to 97% or whatever, it might drop down to here or wherever that 97% is or whatever, that in theory could be still a 50% drop down to like 97%. So if you bought here and you were willing to add lower, in the longer scheme of things, in theory, you would have an average entry. Well, if you added bigger down here, you could even have a better lower entry down here. And at some point, I don't know when that is, but at some point, price will probably come back up to these areas, up and around here to test these necklines. So medium to long term, yes, I think it's good if you're willing to add lower also.